M.F. Cusack, she was a nun. She got saved, came to know the Lord, and she wrote the tremendous classic, The Black Pope, which I do offer with my book. And she essentially says that the Black Pope is the master of the White Pope, with a show of submission by the latter, by the White Pope. The White Pope, upon the Pope being declared the infallible in 1870, the Pope was declared infallible in 1870. It's the White Pope that will lead, but the Black Pope is holding the reins. So we must always remember that the Black Pope, the Jesuit General, controls the White Pope. Whatever his policies are, remember the Vatican, the papal policies, the open policy is the false policy. The Pope is against the war in Iraq. It's nonsense. He wants this war. His Knights of Malta caused it. The man who brought down the World Trade Center was George J. Tenet. So they have a secret but true policy, but an open but false policy, which is typical of the Roman two-headed Janus. Who is the Pope? Who is this man? Every Pope is an Antichrist. The papacy is the dynasty of these Antichrists. The final Pope will be the Antichrist. The Jesuit Order has ruled every Pope since 1814, and it will rule the last and final Pope, who will be Satan's Antichrist, the universal monarch of the world. The double-headed phoenix, you see this everywhere. The double-headed phoenix symbolizes the coming man-beast who is alive, he suffers death, he arises out of the ashes of his death, and he becomes the universal monarch of the world, which we read in Revelation 13. Who can make war with the beast? He is killed, he comes back to life, and he rules the world. The whole course of human history is the coming of this man-beast to rule the world from a third rebuilt Hebrew temple in Jerusalem, and he will also rebuild Babylon, because this is the reason for this war of annihilation in Iraq. It's going to be nothing but urban renewal for the next 20, 30 years. Whoever becomes president, the U.S. forces will remain in Iraq. Here's Ignatius Loyola on the bottom, and this is a chart of 1640. And it's Loyola who brings to power the double-headed phoenix, the risen Pope, the man-beast. If a man consider the origin of this great ecclesiastical dominion, he will easily perceive that the papacy is none other than the ghost of the deceased Roman Empire sitting crowned on the grave thereof. The papacy is nothing more than the continuation of the Roman Empire. The Pope is the Roman Caesar. The College of Cardinals is the Roman Senate. It is still a political empire under the garb of religious clothing, like this, so as to disarm you, to make you think that we're such holy and righteous men when we're whited sepulchres. There he is. Now that's a classic picture of him. It couldn't be better. Okay, he's the Caesar, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and by the way, that's his title. There's his throne in Rome. The light is the light of Horus, because the Pope, being the vicar of Christ, is in fact the vicar of Horus. He keeps the place of Horus until Horus arrives, who will be the coming risen Pope. And I will show you how Horus is the papal Jesus. On what meat does this our Caesar feed that he's grown so great? Who was the first Pope? How did he get his universal spiritual power, temporal power, right to deity, infallibility? Well, first of all, the first Pope, which they tell us was Peter, he was not the first Pope. Peter was a racial Jew. He was a Gentile, not a Gentile. He was the apostle to the racial Jews according to the Scriptures. He was never given the keys of the kingdom of heaven as promised by Christ. That's all future for the Davidic kingdom yet to come. Peter never went to Rome, and his tomb was discovered in 1953 in Jerusalem. Now we will start to begin with the papacy, how Roman Catholicism under the guise of Christianity began. Because true biblical Christianity is not Roman Catholicism. They're mutually exclusive. Roman Catholicism and the papacy always persecutes true Bible-believing people, as I will show you. Constantine is the founder of Roman Catholicism, just as Muhammad is the founder of Islam. He creates Roman Catholicism. Now this is a quote here I take from Tony Bushby. Now he's not a Bible believer, but he's a wonderful quote. And he shows how Constantine creates this new god for Rome. And they took a vote. And the new god's name, with Jesus and Krishna, would be Jesus Christ. So Constantine the Great creates this Jesus Christ of Romanism as the new God for Catholicism. It's not the true Lord Jesus Christ or Yeshua HaMashiach of the Scriptures. There's Constantine where he creates Christianity for the Roman Empire. Remember, he's a man of war, a man of blood. Papal Roman Catholicism Christianized is really nothing more than ancient Roman paganism. And ancient Roman paganism is nothing more than Mystery Babylon religion. According to Hislop, and if you don't have Hislop's The Two Babylons, you should have that for your library. It has been known all along that popery was baptized paganism, but God is now making it manifest that the paganism which Rome has baptized is in all its essential elements the very paganism which prevailed in the ancient literal Babylon. Rome is in very deed the Babylon of the Apocalypse. Okay? Mystery Babylon religion starts after the flood. Remember, there's no idolatry before the flood. From the time of Adam to Methuselah till Noah's flood, there is no idolatry. It begins after the flood in the first city in the land of Shinar, Babylon. And it's built upon the promise of a world ruler. Well, the Lord said that he would send his seed to redeem what Adam had lost. Well, if the Lord's going to have a seed, so does the devil. Because the devil doesn't have one original idea. So he has his seed. And what happens is that a universal myth is created by Semiramis, and the myth sets forth a murdered king, reborn as a deified man-child, intended to rule the world. And the child's mother is the Virgin Queen of Heaven. There are four aspects of this. It's history, it's mythology, it's symbolism, and practice. Nimrod was the worship of a deified black man. He's the priest king on his throne. He unifies all people at Babel under one world government. He's executed by the godly Shem. His wife Semiramis laments his death, and then she creates the mythology. Here's an artist's view of Tower of Babel. And remember, the Tower of Babel was composed of peoples. It was the mixing of the races that the Lord had created after the flood. The Lord created the three major races for the purpose of keeping mankind separate, lest man would unite against him as he did before the flood, when there was only one race, one landmass, and one language. So, in Babel you have universal race mixing, and they have three things in common: commerce, sex, and war. Exactly what we have common here in the United States of America today. Mystery Babylon religion is perfected in Egypt, and you have these pyramids. Well, the first, the farthest, represents Osiris. The middle one is Isis, and the small one is Horus. You're going to see this Isis-Horus connection everywhere. This is the middle pyramid, Isis. She brings forth the sun, the man-beast. He's half man, he's half beast. As the Roman papacy will bring forth the final pope, who will be killed, brought back to life, possessed by the devil, and be the man-beast. And this symbolism you will see everywhere. The history, we now go to the mythology. You have the pagan Trinity, which is the Eternal Father, Divine Son, the Virgin Mother. The Virgin Mother, she's the Queen of Heaven. In Babylon, she's Semiramis and Tammuz. In Egypt, she's Isis and Horus. Greece, Maya and Hermes. Rome, Fortuna and Jupiter. And in Papal Rome is Mary and Jesus. Not the Mary and Jesus of the New Testament. You have pagan Babylon.